Hello everyone and welcome. We are here, we are live, we are ready to go, and we are once again in Kerbal Space Program Hardcore mode. This is the series where I'm playing pretty much a dolled up version of the stock Kerbal Space Program game. All the gameplay, all the contracts, all the parts are all stock. I've just dressed it up with some extra mods, but I am playing it on hard mode, which means, amongst other things, I don't get to do revert. So when things go wrong, and I have to live with them. I've also done myself the further disservice of limiting the amount of science I'm collecting to 30% of what it is normally, which is half of what it is in the normal hard mode. And we are sitting here with the ARM 1. Last episode, this thing made its way out to this C-class asteroid, and we managed to have it, well, almost in an orbit. Not quite in an orbit. I gotta figure out now what to do with it. What we did is we arrow braked it, or arrow captured it, really, into this eccentric inclined orbit with the apogee way out here. It's not technically still in orbit because the periapsis is still in Kerbal's atmosphere. And I was going to, all I got to do to finish off the contract that's over here, which is to discover this C-class asteroid and get in orbit of Kerbal, is to push the perigee out. And I was going to do it last episode, and then I went, I'm not entirely sure what I want to do with this thing yet. You know, I don't want to just put an asteroid in orbit about Kerbal and just kind of leave it. I want to do something with it. Maybe bring it into low orbit about Kerbal. I was also thinking maybe bringing it to the moon or bringing it to Minmus. And maybe making it serve as kind of the base of a future station. I don't know. I haven't decided upon that yet. And I think what I first need to do is really decide what I'm going to do with it. In fact, why don't I start thinking about that right now? So the first thing is to realize is that it only has 95 meters per second of delta V left in it. If I'm going to do anything really clever with this thing, I am going to need to bring up some more fuel. But first of all, I just want to see, what does it cost? I don't think it's much to just bring that periapsis out of the atmosphere. I think that's like almost nothing. So if I just give this a little bit of a pull here, there we go. We're out of the atmosphere. 1.5 meters per second, so almost nothing. So I can definitely do that. I'm also wanting to change the inclination of this. Now it is inclined to the moon's orbit, hence to Kerbal's equator, by 50.8 degrees. So that's not an insignificant plane change. What if I selected Minmus as a target? What's that difference in inclination? Oh, it's a little less. Maybe that makes Minmus a better target. I don't know. Now, how much is that going to cost me? That's the other thought. If I add a maneuver here, and I guess it's a descending node, so I have to kind of do this way by quite a lot. Let's actually look at this on that view. Yeah. So 200 meters per second that way, 200 meters per second in the retrograde direction. That's brought it down. I'm doing it the wrong way. Okay, I'm all messed up. So it's got to go the other way. Okay, that's brought its inclination down to 132. I know it's going to be roughly about the same amount as of normal as it is retrograde, so that's why I'm keeping these two numbers so I can just sort of see them. And it might be to my advantage to oh, this is getting pretty close now. Look at that. If I do this, I'm getting really close to the plane of Minmus, and I'm also getting my apogee, or apoapsis. I'm getting mixed up between terminology with playing too much RP1. I keep saying apogee. So that's, you know, in the ballpark. Now that is a good golly, if I have to use a little Pythagoras to do that, but it's over 1,000 meters, well over 1,000 meters per second for sure. The second question is, would I be better off? Because, you know, I'm doing this plane change way down here. There might be some shenanigans I can pull to make it cheaper than this. I'm not really sure. Let's delete that second maneuver for a second. Just want to kind of plot this out a bit. What if I brought the whole orbit downwards? Bring that down. Does that make it now, will I be going slower way down here? Because I'm not falling from way up above. I've taken a lot of the energy out. Will this be a cheaper plane change? That's what I'm asking myself. See what I'm doing? I think I may have already answered my own question here. I'm looking at maneuver number 3. Again, just playing with ideas on what to do with this. For whatever reason, I'm not getting the... Do I have to do it? Ah, I lost it. Maneuver 3. There we go. It's in the ballpark. I'm getting the Minmus. Oh wait, why do I keep pulling that one and then pulling the opposite one? That clearly does not accomplish anything. So now I'm looking... I think it's a little cheaper if I do that than it was before. All right. Tell you what. Let's get rid of that one. I think I'm going to circularize this, at least finish off the contract. Maneuver 2. Come on. Give it to me. Go away. Okay. So what I think I'll do is go up and just at least do this prograde guy way up here. And that's going to just bring my perigee out. Or, what if I made this bigger? So that these are more out here. Oh, that's what I'm thinking. It's all about getting yourself going slower in the places where you need to make the plane change. Just screwing with ideas. I think this is probably a bad idea, what I'm doing here. Yeah. Okay, let's take off that normal component I just added on. Okay. What I think I shall do. Play with this a bit. Get that right on. Oh, I'm going so slow. I need to increase the time this way. About here. Let's take some of the energy out of that. I'm thinking I'm going to take this asteroid to Minmus. That's going to be my plan. Now, I want to stay away from the moon's orbit. That's the other thing I'm just suddenly noticing. Because if I end up... Can I get it outside the moon's orbit? No, I can't. I can't afford that. Because I certainly don't want to end up getting smacked around by the moon. Or can I use the moon to my advantage? Ooh, there's a thought. What if we did it so we do intersect the moon? And see if we can use the moon, like right now. Oh wait, that's because I don't have the moon set as a target, dummy. There you go. I think I might see if I can use the moon, do some moon shenanigans. Everyone's up for some moon shenanigans, right? So I'll just have the orbit crossing right about there. I can afford it. It's 87 meters per second. We'll build something to go out there and refuel it. And then we'll see if we can use a little bit of, like I said, moon shenanigans to maybe use the moon to accomplish a lot of the plane changing. Yeah, everyone's up for shenanigans. I like it. I like this idea. The other thing I want to get to, because I'm a little worried about cash. Where's my cash situation? Here it is. I got 120,000 Kerbucks. This contract, once I do this burn, is going to net me 135,000, but, you know, that's a little bit more, but I think this was like a 50,000 Kerbuck rocket or something, so it's barely worth. These asteroid, for those people, I got a couple of questions on YouTube asking me about it. Are the asteroid contracts worth it, they said. And the answer to that, you know, is you know, for collecting resources or for trying to, there it is, create an alarm. Talking and doing stuff at the same time is never a good idea. For collecting resources or for, you know, getting money from the contract. And the answer to that question is no. These asteroid contracts are a lot of work and you get almost nothing for it. There are some resources and some science I can get off of it, but it's not a lot. So I'm going to create an alarm, boom, for this maneuver. And I'm going to give myself a good 20 minutes of warning on this alarm because I'm going to need to still slug this thing around. Okay, so that's coming up in 6 days. I also, by the way, while we're looking at the alarm clock, I got an I-class asteroid that's coming into Kerbin's SOI in 70 days. I'm not going to do anything with that. I don't even know why I noted it. I do have a Sentinel infrared telescope that is in orbit about the sun, but it's going to do the final insertion of its orbit in 129 days. And that's the service, this Map 8 Asteroids contract, to get that going as well. And this is finally working. I think I've mapped 2 comets so far, but I'm supposed to map 3. So why don't we, with this all set up, go back to the Space Center, and I want to take a look at my contracts, and I want to keyboard lag is when you stop talking whilst you type and click. Yeah, I know. I can't talk and type at the same time. I want to take a look at contracts, see if there's any good contracts, because I certainly could use the money. What's this Explore Gilly contract? We've gone to Gilly once. Dock 2 vessels on or around Gilly. Man, I did that. I did do that. That's so sad. I don't know if it's worth my time. Extract ore from Ike and deliver it to Duna. That's just stupid. 2,000 units of ore. I've complained about the contract system in this game so much, I'm going to not complain. That's just dumb. I'm not going to move my communication satellite. Position a satellite in a geosynchronous orbit of Kerbin. See, that's not hard. And look up the payout. Look at the freaking payout for that. That's something to consider. And then I got more SCANsat ones for Kerbin. I got SCANsat ones for Eve and Gilly. I really want to get away from Eve and Gilly. I kind of like the fact that I'm suddenly seeing something for Ike and Duna. I think that would be a good mission to do, but I'm just thinking... I'm taking it. I'm going to take it. I'm going to take it. I want to start moving towards... Maybe there'll be some other things I can do out there. Not in the immediate future, but... I'd love to do a Duna Ike type of mission. That sounds like fun. I do have... That's being done. I do have a B-class asteroid to go in orbit about Eve. If I do that, maybe. I don't know. I got plant a flag on the moon. The infrared one. Extract ore from Minmus and deliver it to Kerbin. Okay, we're getting into ore. Okay. Just trying to set stuff up for the future. Okay, let's take a look at what's going on out here. So we're going to lose these guys. We have unknown. So some of these are comets. I should have 2 comets. So I'm looking at the... Oh my golly, there are a lot now, aren't there? So This is an unknown object. If I start tracking it, I can see it's... Like, that's got to be a comet, don't you think? An E-class comet? Put the ones I'm tracking. Like, its orbit's out past Joule. What else we got here? We got this fella. That's got to be a comet. I'm just going to keep track of comets for now. That is a... Don't know what that is. This one said... Oh, so when it's unknown, it tells you what class it is, and as soon as you select it, it won't tell you what it is anymore. Info. Oh yes, here. This is a C-class object. This one was an E-class object, but those must be two comets. They have to be. Right? I'm really looking still for that B-class object. Let's take those off the mix for now. Let's see if I can find a B-class object in around Kerbal, because that's one of my... So there's an E, there's a D, there's a D, there's so many. So just a cluster of them right here. E, D, D, C, C, D, C. I guess those are all C's, D's, C. Got lots of C's and D's. C's and D's, C, E. Here's an E. That's a C. I got these ones out by an A. I do have a contract for an A, do I not? Class A and get it and land it on Kerbal. That might be fun. What is this guy doing? That's an A. Way out by Duna. Is intersecting Kerbal's orbit, but you know, we'll keep an eye on that one. That's an E, 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 that's a C, an E, and an E. That's a C, that's a D. You're not making my life easy. That's a C. That's a D, that's an E. Okay, so if I go to the ones I've tracked now, I've got 11 that I've tracked. I got this C-class asteroid. I don't see why I'm keeping... Where is... He's down there. Let's stop tracking that. I got this C-class asteroid here. Let's start I'm not going to track these. I'm just going to get rid of some of these. Stop tracking. I got this B-class. Oh, that is something I need to keep an eye on. I just want to only keep the ones I want to keep an eye on. Because I do have a to get a B to Minmus. C-class, don't care. Or not to to Eve. Terminate. That's a B. That's an I. I'll keep an eye on him, but I'll never use it. That's a C that I don't care about. Nope. Stop tracking you. That's a C I don't care about. Why did I track so many of these? That's a C I don't care about. C seems to be the most common size. There's an... Oh, that's that A I spotted earlier out by Duna. And then I got my two comets that I'll keep an eye on. Okay, okay. There we go. So, I got objects. Let's exit. Hi, Oliver. How are you? Okay, what are we doing now? We did contracts. We did that. We did that. Okay, let's get back to the arm. Oops, that's the wrong. Back to here. And let's take these guys off. Out to here. And arm one. There. All right, so let's get out there. Am I getting decent solar exposure? I think so. I'm good. Okay. That's the one I'm working on. So we're getting far out from Kerbal. Where is Kerbal, by the way? I've lost track of it. Okay, yeah, delete and close. And let's lock that onto the maneuver node. We're pointing up, so it's got to be behind us somewhere. We're almost pointing straight up and away from Kerbal. There we are. Oh my gosh, why'd that take so long to see Kerbal? There's Kerbal, there's the moon over there. As we twist and turn and try and get into position here. This thing actually whips this asteroid around pretty efficiently, I think. Wow, does it only have... Is this wheel inactive? No, it's not. I didn't think so. Oh, the rule of thumb with how many asteroids are. The rule of thumb with asteroids is there's many, many little ones. And then, yeah, it goes down exponentially as you get bigger and bigger and bigger. So, yes, I don't think we're following proper, you know, rules. Did I stop at the right alarm? Yes, I did. Okay. Alright, so we are pointing in the right direction now. I got the burn starting in 18 minutes. So I'm just going to time warp slowly towards it. It is a 2-minute and 36-second burn. I don't trust the auto warp. That's why I'm doing it manually. And yeah, eventually we'll probably send some Kerbals this way or something. I don't know. We'll see. 2 minutes to the burn. I should also say, while I'm thinking about it, as for most of us coming up, we got a holiday season coming up, and I am going to adjust sort of my schedule a little bit for the holiday season. This is going to be the last stream until the new year. So once this stream is done, I won't be doing another one until after New Year. So that will be in January. So no more streams after this. No stream on Thursday. No stream for the next 2 weeks, and then a stream after that, whenever that date is in January. As far as the RP1 series goes, there will be an RP1 video tomorrow, another one on Saturday, and then for the next 2 weeks, I'm just going to do them on Saturdays. Okay, and then again in the new year, hopefully get into the regular schedule of 2 week again. I don't know why this thing is spinning around, but it seems to like to do it. 1 minute from the burn. Unless, of course, the smaller asteroids are harder to detect, says John. Yes, that actually may make some sense, now I'm thinking about it. Alright, so again, once my periapsis is out of the atmosphere, that should satisfy this contract. We are still spinning, and I don't know why, but it is pointing on the right direction, so I'm not going to worry too much about it. I think, is it just gonna... I think it's oscillating back and forth then, isn't it? Between... I don't know. Whatever. 18 seconds to the burn. That's all that matters. Okay, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. And our periapsis is out of the atmosphere. The contract has gone green. But we're going a little further than that. Let's get rid of our contracts plus window. Our goal here, as you can see, is going to be to have our orbit intersect the moon's orbit for the purpose of shenanigans. The BDI, yeah. I do think... Whoops. There is something in the... It is... I think it's just oscillating back and forth. It's a PDI thing. I agree. But it's not hurting anything right now, so I honestly don't care. It's doing it to distribute thermal energy around the spacecraft. That's what it's doing. It's all planned. And this will largely empty this. So I think what I'll do is just design a craft that holds the exact same amount of fuel as this one, but just doesn't have all the other nonsense on it, and it can just come up here and dock with it. I think that's going to be the plan. All right. The asteroid, I think, does need a clean. It's a dirty asteroid. I think. So how much cash do I have now? I have 550,000 Kerb bucks. That feels pretty good. I still have only a tier 2 VAB. I would love to upgrade the VAB. Okay. Here we go. I do want to pay some attention to this. Again, the goal is where the place to look is really right here. Yeah. Lower our throttle a little bit. Okay, I'm going to cut. And if we just look at the DN, whoa, let's get right in there real close. If I get the DN right on, let's get it so the two orb, oh my god, I cannot move the camera very well. Might be close enough, for goodness sakes. Yeah, right here. Let's get the DN. The DN's right on the two orbits, then the two orbits are crossing there. Boink, right there. That's what I'm in. Alright, so I can see here we are missing the moon. But what we can do is add them in. Oh, on the next maneuver, on the next orbit, we are not missing the moon. Okie dokie. So, I think the best plan, let's just time warp a little forward, just to get the vessel off of Apowapsis, and then I'm going to put this right up here. So the goal of this, let's focus on the moon. The goal of this is to see if I can fix the plane without, at the same time, ejecting myself. So, I gots to get it. Oh boy. Let's see. Well, let's just do something and see what effect it has. That's the way they do it in NASA, right? Do something and then see what effect it has. So that does okay, maybe, you know what? I'm thinking I might not be in the best this way out here. It might be better off. Sorry, just give me a moment. Zero that one out. This maneuver may be better off like here-ish. I think I'm on the wrong side of the moon. So I'm gonna give a little bit of radialness. Like that. Just gonna play with. Oh. Okay, that is the absolute opposite of what I want, but at least it's a capture. What if I go... like this, like this, like this, like this, like this. Oh, wait, I'm aiming for Minmus, dope. You are aiming for Minmus. Let's set Minmus at a target. Now that is resulting in me crashing into Kerbal. That's probably not cool either, so... maybe I was... There's going to be a lot of playing. What if I come around on the other side? Problem is now I'm getting an ejection. I love the plane, but I don't like... what if I'm like this, but just further out? That's the idea. Even a little bit of... Ooh. 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 A little bit of this. A little bit of that. Pretty... what does that look... oh, look at that. That looks awesome. There's my pair, and there's that, and it's not even that far from... ooh, I think I'm on the right ballpark here. Let's keep playing with this. Only got a 2 degree. What about a little normal? No. No. Little radial. I think I need to turn the sensitivity of this down. No. A little prograde or retrograde. Looking at anything that's bringing that or I just live with the inclination that I got. I think maybe that's the better plan. 2.7 degrees. Honestly, is not terrible, is it? 2.8 degrees. Now, I can't afford this burn, but, I mean, that's getting pretty darn close to a Minmus intercept. I can fiddle with the rest of it. We are not hitting the moon. We are not hitting Kerbal. We're ending up in this really nice orbit. It's only 10 meters per second. Wow, I made a good decision using moon shenanigans, didn't I? So, I think I'm going to do this. Now, this burn's coming up in just 7 days. We got... can I help myself out? I'm wondering if the burn might be better over here. But you know what? Maybe we can try... it's going to be tough to get there in 7 days, isn't it? Maybe we can do it. When's it down here? P. This one. Alright, we're gonna... I'm gonna leave that burn there. We're gonna set an alarm for it. They're gonna give me, I don't know, 30 minutes warning for this maneuver. 30 minutes warning for this maneuver. Let's give it a title. This is mid-course Moon intercept thing. Adjustment. Just call it that, for goodness sakes. Add that alarm. We got 7 days to get fuel to this. Okay, am I getting good solar panel exposure? I am. I think everything is good. So let's get back to the Space Center and see if what we can do. I know, we got to get ourselves some fuel. We've got to get fuel up there. So the it's kind of hazy. It's a little hazy, isn't it? So here is my plan. So I'm going to get the original arm one. Come on. There you are. Load. And we're going to strip off everything we don't care about. So we're going to strip off this. Let's just throw it away. We're going to keep RCS. Oh no, but we'll have to adjust the RCS, but that's fine. Going to strip off the nerve engine. Going to strip off the solar panels. We'll never strip off the lights. Going to strip off this just going to put the lights in a safer spot. Going to take this out because we will not need that much. All it's got to do is dock. Going to strip off all... Well, no, I want to keep the... Definitely won't want the grabber. I'll keep the lights. Kind of like the lights. Okay, make this the root part. Keep that. This is going to get thrown for now. This comes back. Make it the root part again. And we're putting a docking port. What kind of docking port is this? It's a Clampetron Junior. Okay, so we'll put the docking port at the front just because I'm more used to that. So I'm just going to get a structural piece that should go there, and then that can go on Alt, hold there. So basically, I want to get this fella there. It has the exact same amount of fuel as what's up there already. I got to put some RCS on it, or some monopropellant. Let's just do that this way. Mono. Filter by resource. Monopropellant. Little monopropellant cans. That's all it needs. We'll work out the details later. Okay. I'm not entirely sure it even needs this antenna. I can probably get away with a couple of communitrons. Again, we'll just stick these on here just for now. So all of this fuel I would like not to use. That's the idea. So I'm just going to turn off all of those fuel cans so that these are just weight. And so basically now I have a 4-ton chunk of payload that I need to get to that location. And I'm thinking I might not even go nuclear. I might just, you know, see if we just go a little bigger. Oh, I guess I got to make a budget. I'm not even thinking that far ahead. But, you know, this kind of thing. The skiff? No, the skiff is big. I could go 2.5, then the Poodle gets in the mix, and the Poodle's a good engine. Swivels. We do have the Kodiaks. That has 300. No, I think the Poodle. I think going bigger is a better plan. That's not what I'm looking for. This one, 2.5. I'm looking for some sort of fuel can adapter thingy. That's like the fella I'm thinking about. And then you just put a poodle on the end. So already that's 2,000 there, plenty of thrust. You don't have to dock. You can use the grabber. I know I could, but I put a docking port on it for a reason, so I'm going to use it. But you know what I need to do is I need to make a budget. I need to make a budget. So I'm going to save this. This is the ARM 1 refueler. Let's save. And I'm going to need to get out my spreadsheet. And I always kind of don't really like doing it. I don't have this set up already, so just give me a moment here. And I'll make sure that you can see it. And my very, very messy spreadsheet here. And I need to go to the tracking station. So saving this, let's exit out of here. There we go. And get into the tracking station and write down some numbers. Write down some numbers. Now, actually, so there's my current ARM 1 that we have to rendezvous with. Yeah, we'll do some numbers. So, it is in an orbit that is 3,800. Let's write that down. 3,813, call it 14 kilometers. And an apogee. I don't know which one I'm on here. That's the one. 35,587. Okay. And so now what I need to do, I'll show you my spreadsheet. There it is. And I need to figure out how to get into that orbit. So we're going to try, I'm going to insert myself into, this is going to be the plan. I got to think if I got this right. Yes. I'm going to insert myself into an 80 kilometer orbit to start with. That's going to be my parking orbit. I'm going to, this is what I look at, this number. And I want to get up to that periapsis of 3,814. And what this does tell me, what this calculates for me using the Visviva equations is how much that's going to cost. So it's going to be a first burn. I'm going to round everything up to the nearest 10. So 730 meters per second. For that, always round up. This one, and then a burn there at 430 meters per second. But this burn, I'm going to have to keep burning at periapsis to take from the circular orbit of 3,814, which is what this would put me into, to push the apoapsis up to 35,587. No matter how you shake it, that's what you got to do when you do a rendezvous. You have to basically put yourself into the same orbit as that person. You end up doing it in funny stages, but the end result is the same. So what I need to do now is figure out how much that burn will cost. So that'll be 3,814 kilometers up to 35,587 kilometers. And I only care about this burn, the 300, because I won't circularize up there. 300. That's going to be 300. We'll just call it 300. So if I add the three numbers I got up, let's do that over here. So that's going to be 730 plus 430 plus 330. I don't know if that's making any sense or not, but boink. And that's going to be, yes, I'll have to take out some of those reaction wheels. Thank you. That's 1,490. So if I'm in a circular orbit of 80 kilometers, I should be able to, for about 1,500 meters per second, rendezvous with that thing. Then I need to get up into that orbit. So let's get rid of this just for a moment. And what is the inclination of this orbit? Can I get it from the orbital info? Do I actually have to fly you? Okay, we will fly you. So let's fly it. Did I round down to 430? Oh well, I'll add on more still. This guy is in an inclined orbit. There it is, of 51 degrees. Okay, back to the... Now we can bring back up my... Okay, so that means I need to launch myself into an inclined orbit of 50... Shoot, I've already forgotten. What was it? $51. And that's what this calculation does. 51 degrees. And I'm getting 3,603. I'm going to call that 3,610. And then I'm going to add another 100 very arbitrarily. 3,710. Probably more than that. Okay, I have a budget I can work with now. Get rid of this. Go back to the Space Center. And we'll do it. So I rounded down at that 430. So I probably should add on another 10, so I'll call that 500. I'll trust you. Or 1,500 meters per second. So I'll add on that 10 because I apparently rounded the wrong direction. So that's a total budget that I see here of 5,210 that I'm writing on a piece of paper that you guys can't see. Very sorry about that. That's my total budget. 5,210 meters per second. Okay. Wow, it is foggy. It is foggy. Well, German engineer, I'm glad that what I do helps you. I actually really do like to hear that, so thank you. Okay, this is our refueler. You're right, all of these reaction wheels, all of them actually are completely unnecessary. So let's take this off. Let's take these off. I'm just going to plunk them down below. Let's take these guys off. We are going to take this off, take those off, put that there. All these batteries are not necessary either. The batteries are also overkill. But I'm sure the torque just in here is going to be fine. Well, you know what? I'll probably do is put some reaction wheels down here. There we go. That's cool. Okay, so back to this. I had 1,500 meters per second for getting from low orbit to doing the rendezvous. That's assuming that I didn't screw this up. So I would like to add on about another 1,000. So honestly, Jesus, even the Poodle seems now kind of overkill, doesn't it? What does the Poodle do? 250 kilonewtons. Oh, wow, the Bobcat's even bigger. Like I do. Oh, wait. No, there's that skiff engine. The Wolfhound engine. That's the one I was thinking about. It's only through, but it's a lot lighter than the Poodle. Sorry. The skiff is a 2.5 meter. That's 300 kilonewtons. And an ISP of 330. This is 250, so this one's even bigger. And then the skiff, or yeah, the Wolfhound is 375. It's even more. I'm looking for a decent vacuum engine that's actually a little less than the Poodle. Oh, the Cheetah. The Cheetah might be a better choice. Hello, Mr. Cheetah. Cheetah. Cheetah is a good choice. That's a nice. That is nice. Go away, you. That means I probably don't need this ginormous tank after all. I can go this size. Go a little smaller. Oh, that's nice. That's very nice. Can I change the texture so I don't see that? Yeah, that looks better. I don't know if I'm a fan of the skirt. But we'll deal. We'll deal. A little bit more. I'm looking at about 2,500 there. That's in the ballpark. Thrust to weight ratio just a little bit more than 1. I can deal. Maybe make it... What happens if I do something like this? Just playing with different ideas, different configurations. That's too much. That's pretty nice. Not sure if there's an advantage to this over what I had before. Now let's go back to what I had before. So that goes off. That goes here. That goes here. No. This guy goes here. That goes there. Or, because I don't like the way that looks at the bottom. This is when you start just caring way too much about the aesthetics of everything. I like it. I like that best. I like that best. Oh, thank you very much, German Engineer. German Engineer says, honestly, I owe you this for all the tutorials I made. Well, thank you. I appreciate that for the donation. No, this is the choice that's been made for purely aesthetic reasons. Okay, now I do need to put on proper RCS and proper everything else. So I'm honestly not hating a lot of this. Let's move this light down. This light down. Some aesthetic choices are being made here. That. I'll move those RCS blocks in just a little bit. That one can go there. Okay. Where am I going to put these two fellas? And get stuck on the end of these reaction wheels. And no, I'll leave them just like that. And the two antennas. I kind of like the way the lights kind of worked into this. No, what I'm going to do, take this part. Just kind of slide these down again. Aesthetic choices are being made. Down like that, and then out a little bit. That looks a little better. Where are my antennas gonna go? Oh. Didn't mean to do that. Nope. Just meant to grab you. There we go. Antennas. There we go. Lights, blinky lights. Okay. I like. Now, if I open up, I gotta put some. This is not a particularly heavy. Oh, it's 12 tons. We'll stay with the bigger. I'm gonna go to the smaller RCS blocks. I don't think I need the big ones. And we're going to put a set of 4 down here. We're going to disable the yaw, pitch, and the roll. And then I'm going to put a set of 4 up here. I don't like how close that's coming. Maybe it's better off this way. Oh, it doesn't like that. Oh, shoot. Well, we'll play. Let's see. What's this doing? I'm going to use the dry center of mass. That's that DCOM. So I'm using this red ball because it's going to be large. This will be largely empty by the time we get to the top. Why don't I put them on the actual... There, that's not a bad idea. On the probe core at the top. Like so, and then these guys got to move up, and I'm just reducing that torque. That is making it worse. Oh gosh, okay. Torque's very low. I'm sure it's fine. Okay. There. All right. Mike, am I Canadian? I am Canadian. I don't know what gives it away, but yes. Thinking. I'm gonna put an engine plate right there, the 1.875 meter engine plate, and I'm just thinking about what's, you know, below. Detaching this to a booster. I'm on decouplers. Where are the... Yeah, here we go. The 1.875 meter engine plate. You're going right there. You can go there. And then I got an attachment point. Yeah, I'm pretty good with this. I don't think I'm really missing anything. All right, so let's put a booster under this. So we don't need a decoupler. What I'm thinking of is getting that, probably going to a 2.5 meter size underneath, and then putting something like the skipper underneath it or something. Probably should be good. So I'm looking at, is it you? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that looks good. And then like you, this is already getting too big, I can tell. Can I get away with just the skipper? Or do I have to go mainsail on this guy? So that's 5,000 meters per second. My budget is 5210. I'm gonna go more than that, but I still got a healthy thrust to weight ratio on the bottom, so I can probably go a little bigger. Or I can get into boosters. That's a little bit too... I can go this route, or we can go with a mainsail on the bottom. Still need more fuel. See, that's getting into the ballpark, and there's plenty of thrust on the bottom. Like, way more thrust than I need. So, what's this costing me? About 35 grand. If I go to this one, 27, but then I'm probably going to need... most certainly going to need some form of radial boosters to lift it. Which may work. I think I'm going to spend more money on the boosters than I am. I'm being cheap. So if I get this to be, that's a little bit too much thrust. A little less than 2. Like that. And then we go with, so I'm at 27, while this mix here was 35. But this is not enough delta V. What I'd have to do to get this to work is put on some things like you. Might be able to get away with just like, no, those are too small, aren't they? Maybe not. Where's my engines? Like Bobcats. All of those at the same time. This is what I'm thinking. That. See, that's more than enough, and I'm spending less. In fact, that's a lot. I'm wondering, while I'm being cheap, and Reliance under that. Again, fuel lines. I usually don't spend a lot of time thinking about money, but lately, money's been a big issue. That is plenty of DV and plenty of thrust, and it's just freaking little Reliance on the bottom with the I like it. That's what we're gonna do, just because it's cheaper, just because she's cheaper. What I am gonna do, take this away, I'm going to make a checkerboard here for no other reason than I like it. Exactly the same amount of fuel, but it looks better. Slanty nose cones. Some struts. I like it. 3,300 meters per second. Plenty of thrust on the bottom stage. Little bit of a hint of aerodynamic stability here with some tail fins. A suggestion of aerodynamic stability. I'm not going to put Separatrons on it. I think I think these are small enough that they'll probably just fly away. I'll probably even get away with smaller decouplers, but I'm going to leave the ones I got. Move those up like that. Okay. Can reduce the TWR on these Reliants by a lot. There we go. Launch clamps. Oops. I have to grab just you. Wait a minute. Why is this so screwed up? There. I still got to put a nose cone on the top. Oh my gosh, silly. I don't have any kind of fairing around the base. So what I'm going to do is... I might change some decisions. Put in that truss structure. Interstage nodes, that's what I'm looking for. Interstage nodes. Perfect. And then the fairing will come around. Build a fairing. Come out. Down. And then close. Wonderful. Lots of force. Clamshell deploy. Put a nose cone on the top. Where is all this stuff happening? Oh, I need a decouple. Oh, no, I can put this into the staging. That is you. So let's get this all right there. And the fairing will have to deploy. Yep, the staging makes some sense. And I should sneak a Sepratron in there just to blow the nose cone off. Oh, I only need one. Like that, we can take out almost all of that fuel because it's just got to give it a little burst and then just, you know, send it on its way. And we'll just kind of slide it into the middle. And that it's off center a bit is perfect because that'll blow the nose cone off to one side. All right, how's my DV doing? It could be a little bit more, but that's okay. What I'm gonna do, because it doesn't hurt to add more. Just do that. Then I gotta increase the thrust on these guys a little bit. That's all. Struts. What do you think? Hello, Ben. Glad you can make it. Okay. I'm thinking this is a thing. I'm thinking of going for it. Let's see if we can change the shapes. Let's just go dark. And this one go like that. And let's leave the rest alone. Just go white. There's a white one, right? Sure, the dark's like, that's not bad. Okay. Just a refueler. It's not important. I need to set up an action group. This is going to be the gear action group to do the staging. And that's just to the fairing. So when the fairing goes, I want to, I guess, undock you. Fire off that Sepratron. And deploy the fairing. And then I can take this business along with that Sepratron all the way up into here. And in fact, at this point, I can take all this stuff out of the staging. Fairing staged. Docking port. Staging disabled. There we go. Alright. I think I'm going to go for it. So let's save this. And I keep feeling like I'm forgetting something, but I'm just going to go for it. Launch. Yeah, booster separation might be a little... Yeah. I know. I thought of it too, and then I just kind of shit. Yeah, the booster separation. We'll see what happens. For most people that don't know, what's being pointed out is with the booster separation here, the force of these boosters is like pretty close to the decouplers is pretty close to the middle of the booster, which will tend to kind of push them out like that rather than getting the nose of the booster to push out. I could have lowered them and then moved this up, but I didn't. I could put Sepatrons up here, but I didn't. I decided to just go for it. We'll see what happens. So this is just sitting on the pad. Again, texture on the fairing messed up. I gotta just stop worrying about that. Okay, this is our target way up here. Set you as a target. We're gonna get rid of all the other distracting information. We're going to need to launch into that inclination. Why did it center on the moon? I want to center on Kerbal. There. So we're rotating. We want to launch when we are underneath that orbit. So I'm trying to get the moon's orbit and my target orbit, like, so it almost makes a crosshair. This is where we got to launch, and we got to launch to the south. Yes. Right? Because it's coming around that way. Yes. Okay. So let's time warp. And 51 degrees. Wasn't that the inclination? I'm thinking yes. Oh, I know what can help me out. For goodness sakes. Kerbal Engineer. Right here is telling me the time to the... 1 hour and 16 minutes until I get to the relative ascending node. Yep, that's making perfect sense. I don't need to look at this anymore. About 1 hour away, we're going to be right about there. Kerbal Engineer to the rescue. I'm paranoid about time warping too quick. We'll go slow. There's no rush. We can watch the clouds go by. Okay, we're about just a few minutes. What do we got? 3 minutes away. I can hear thunderstorms in the distance. Let's just look at this and really, it's coming around here. Yeah. So we're going to the south. That moon encounter, for those people just joining us, is on the next orbit. It's going to go around one more time and then encounter the moon. Our goal is to reach it before that happens. Okay, so we are 2 minutes and 30 seconds away from our launch window. Let's put this so I can actually see the numbers. And we got to go towards the south and it was 51 degrees. So if 90 plus 51 is 141 degrees. So we got to go a little bit more south than that to kind of pull that vector over. So let's see. 90 plus 51 is 141. I'm going to go to about a heading of about 148-ish. And I'm really guessing at that. 148-ish. Okay, where's our time? 2 minutes still. This stream might be a good rendezvous lesson for people. People ask me about complicated rendezvous sometimes. You get yourself into these situations like I have now. I mean, it's not easy. Okay, so SAS on. We're going to throttle up. We're 10 seconds away. I'm just going to do it. So, boom, and go. Going straight up. And then we're going to head up this direction. I should probably do a little bit of a roll, but no, not going to do it. So about 148 degrees is a total guesstimate of what would be a good idea. I'm going to roll it a little bit because we're kind of going this way. A little more that way. Oh, I gotta watch those other tanks. They're gonna be gone in no time. I think I rolled the wrong way. Okay, they separated fine. Now the roll doesn't matter anymore. I think I need to be more this way. A little more this way. Altitude is good. Rate of pitch over is good. I'm just kind of pulling it a little more. I'm okay with this. Okay, where's our inclination at? We're aiming for 51 degrees. Yeah, I went a little bit too far south. I need to come more this way. Okay, reducing throttle. Just notice that I was a minute away from apoapsis. Okay, where's my inclination? 47 degrees. Let's just take it off the lock to prograde. Just kind of park it like that for a little bit. There we go. I like. Did I reduce throttle too much? No, it's pretty good. Back to here. 49 degrees. Oh, no, do not go orbit yet. Keep pulling that way. Lock it back to prograde. I'm fine. I'm fine. Keep it locked to prograde. I don't care. Okay. We are 50.9, I think it was. I'm going to lock it to the target. Not target, dummy. Orbit. Orbit. Lock to orbit. And that should keep the inclination pretty much in the same spot. Okay. And hopefully will have us fussing less with inclination. A little bit more thrust. Gear. Goes that. Lights. $50.9. I think that's exactly what the inclination was. Whoa! That nose cone came close. I don't didn't have the Sepratron offset enough. It just buzzed right by us, didn't it? Oh, you know what this doesn't have? This doesn't have any kind of solar generation on it. Oh! Oh dear. Okay, it is generating electricity from the engines. Ah, I have no form of electrical generation on this. Let's turn the lights off. Lights off. Okay, let's just finish our insertion and deal with one problem at a time now. I could send up some Kerbals. But I don't have a rocket, I think, that can do it. Okay, let's open some antennas. Or I could just nurse the electricity until we get there. I think I might try that. I knew I was forgetting something. I knew it, but if I'm really careful with managing the electricity, I might be okay. I might be okay. So, how do we do for matching the inclination of our orbit, though? That ain't bad. See? Our blue line here. I'm hoping you can see that. We are not very far from our insertion here. Does this engine produce EC? I don't know. We're going to find out in just a moment. The lift engines were. Yes, this engine does produce electricity. So there's that. I might have waited a little long for that. Maybe not. Maybe not. Jump a bit. There we go. Okay, I'm just going to finish this insertion. I'm going to try and nurse this thing there with the electricity I have. Now, isn't there a way to put this in hibernation? Yeah, hibernation on, right? And that means I'm using no electricity, and I'll just remember to just turn that on and turn that off each time. Pin it here to remind me. Oh yeah, we can do this. We can do it. We can do it. Okay, so we're in an orbit that matches. How far off? 0.9 degrees off. I can certainly live with that. So the next step in all of this is to add a maneuver node. Oh, it doesn't like it because I'm in hibernation mode. Fine. Come off. Okay. Add a maneuver. Why are you being a pain? There. And we're going to raise our orbit up to the orbit of the perigee of our target. This is where we're going to aim to do our rendezvous. Other way. So the perigee of the target, we're off a little bit by degree, but that's okay. We'll fix that on our way out. So that periapsis is 3,813. So I would like this to be 3,813 if I can. That's more than close enough. Maybe adjust the timing a smidge. PE and the AP. So we'll have to do a little bit of a correction here, but that won't be a big deal. All right. Okay. Okay. So that burn is coming up. Now I can hibernate. That burn's coming up in 20 minutes. Let's put this on free. There we go. And it's a 53-second burn. Okay. So let's get there. We'll be able to do this, just going back and forth. And again, it's going to get the full charge every time I fire this engine. There we go. Put the hibernation back off again. All right. Yeah, once it's at the asteroid, it's fine because there's solar panels on the Arm 1. It's going to be fine. We just need to do a little... Just be cognizant of our electricity, that's all. Silly oversight, though. Would have been pretty easy just to slap some solar panels on here. Okay, we are almost there. I don't know if people can see it. 10 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. We got this. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we'll be using the hibernation mode. The big play is going to be when we're going to... Yeah, we're going to end up having to do this big elliptical orbit before we end up rendezvousing, and that's where a huge amount of time without engines burning is going to happen. So that's when I have to make sure, for sure, that I am in hibernation mode. Okay, we're going to look out here. What do I got? 3, 8, 13. Perfect. Okay. Nope. Not changing a bloody thing. Okay. And now I do want to kind of fix this little bit of difference in inclination. But right here, I think will be a pretty easy place to do that. Just a little bit of positive normal. Hopefully not that much. Lovely. What's the inclination now? Inclination is now 0. I'll even really be finicky about it. There we go. Okay, and I think that looks just about perfect. I'm not going to fiddle with that. Okay, so that is a nothing burn. Hibernation on. We'll turn down the thrust limiter on this. Oh, I have to turn the hibernation off to do that. I never think about hibernation mode. And now suddenly I am. Okay, that works. Hibernation on. Okay, let's get out to that. Okay. Yeah, it says here we're using some, but then it's not going down, so I don't know. I think this point... Oh, now it's 0 again, so I don't know. It's fine. It's fine. Hibernation off. Okay. And what I'm looking at, I think I got it here, don't I? Or somewhere. The relative... No, I don't. Thought I had the relative inclination as one of my things here, but I do not. I just have the time to the node. All right, 4 and 3 and 2 and 1 and go. Delete that. And yeah, I think that looks all pretty happy. Okay, we're gonna put the thrust limiter back up again because the next burn's gonna be probably a pretty big one. Hibernation back on. Okay, let's facilitate ourselves a rendezvous. So the idea is going to be to put ourselves... I gotta put a maneuver here, come on. Oh, I put the hibernation... I keep doing that. I have to have hibernation off in order to make a maneuver. Okay, put a maneuver here. Put it right where our two orbits are meeting. Actually, when you see this maneuver node change, that's when you know you're right in the exact spot. So I'm actually going to go up in just 1 second intervals. When I see that close encounter indicator just jump, see that? That's when I know I'm right in the right spot, right after it jumps. And now we're going to burn prograde, and the idea is going to be to put ourselves into an inclined orbit that will be such that when it comes back, it will run into our target. So you can see the close encounter indicator moving. So we got to put ourselves into this orbit so that we waste time out here before this guy gets back to us. So there is going to be an encounter right about there. Now what's nice is the encounter is going to be actually a pretty high speed. 77 meters per second, not bad. If I can make this orbit, it's nice to make this orbit as big as I can now. Now, I don't know if I can get it to go around one more time. That would be groovy. I don't think it's going to. It most certainly is not, so I got to come back. It's not worth my time to go out past, obviously, and then come back down, so that's going to be it. Okay, right there. Let's tweak this guy. So I'm going to right-click on there and just tweak this to get the separation down. Oh, going the wrong way. Okay, really small adjustments now. 1.2, 1.8. Really small adjustments. 0.9. I think that's it. 0.9 kilometer separation there. We'll have an encounter speed of 76.3 meters per second. So I'm hoping everybody can see kind of the plan. Whenever you're rendezvousing with something in an elliptical orbit, the best plan is to try to facilitate that rendezvous at the periapsis of the orbit. So that's why the whole thing was set up this way. So we're going to do this lazy orbit. And in that amount of time for us to do one more orbit, it's going to come from here to here, and we will be together. That's the idea. Is the target getting an encounter with the moon? Yes, but it isn't getting the encounter with the moon after this maneuver that you see over here. So that's why I want to meet it now, so that we can perform a burn here, so that we can tweak our encounter with the moon, so we can get into an orbit that goes to Minmus. It's also complicated. Okay, hibernation on. That is a 39 meter per second burn, so let's get to it. So we'll be encountering with the moon after we have rendezvoused with it. That's the whole idea. Hibernation back off, pull around. We got it. I'm not worried about electricity anymore. Okay. I know. It is a complicated situation. But I think, honestly, this kind of stuff when it comes up in KSP is what I have the most fun with. More than anything else. Is this type of orbital mechanic-y, weird rendezvous, unusual situations. Alright, we got 10 seconds. And 4, and 3, and 2, and 1, and go. Oh, I see I have some contract is completed. Okay, we're going to look at that in just a second. Oh, I'm hoping it might be my comets, or it can't be the asteroid one yet, because I still got to insert that guy. Just gonna reduce throttle here. And we can probably just finish this off with RCS, right? Why not? Maybe a little more throttle. Okay. Let's get rid of this. Let's take a look at our encounter. So we got this encounter coming up in only 4 days, for goodness sakes. I think I overcooked it just a bit. Oh, RCS on. Yeah, I can tweak it with RCS. .1 kilometers. Let's stop playing. Okay. So, yeah, I think we're all set here. So, I'm going to again turn the hibernation on. And we're going to watch it from here, because here's where I think it's the most obvious how this all works. So we're going up and over. We're really going slow up here. That's our hang time up there, and you can see us coming down now. And doing a rendezvous. Our electricity is fine. And once we've rendezvoused with the asteroid, we won't have electricity issues anymore, and that's our maneuver coming up there. And as far as the delta V in my budget goes, I have 551 meters per second left, and the encounter speed is 76, so I way over budgeted this, but better that than the other way around. Let's get down there. It's doing the thing when I time warp that the encounter disappears, which is always annoying. Okay, let's slow down. How far away are we now? Oh, it's still an hour. Yeah, time to closest approach is still an hour. Just keeps disappearing on me. See, no encounter with the moon yet. Okay, how far are we? 39 minutes. Can definitely still get closer. Okay, how about now? 16 minutes. Okay, let's take the hibernation off. Switch this to target. It's still... Does it tell us how far we are from the target? It doesn't. Okay. Well, not really more fuel for the asteroid because, well, we'll see. Because this guy is running on... This is a chemical rocket, right? It's all this stuff that the asteroid's going to need. Oh, here it's telling me how far to the... No. Put this on rendezvous. There we go. 15 minutes. Okay. I knew I was forgetting something. Okay, let's time warp another 5 minutes. I can get closer. Another few minutes. So I'm just looking at the mission clock up at the top because this time keeps getting screwy. We are not close enough to see it yet, are we? F4? Oh, there it is. It's 25 kilometers away. Okay. Stupid S4. Okay, I'm going to give a little bit of throttle here. Oh, that's making it worse. A little bit of throttle this way. That's making it closer. Oh, not by much, though. Just want to knock off some of this speed. We can get closer. Stop that. Let's get a little closer. We're 6 minutes away. Oh, and now it's not disappearing when I time warp, so that's useful. Alright, we're about 2 minutes away. Let's do another adjustment. Little adjustments as you go. Well, that's making it worse when I burn that direction. So don't burn that direction. So I'm just going to keep it. Every time, I'm just watching this distance too, and every time it, you know, begins increasing, I just flip over to the other direction. Trying to keep it under a kilometer. Let's get a little closer again. Electricity is fine. Speed's down to 31 meters per second, so Really not now too different from when you do a low orbit rendezvous. Let's try burning a little this way. Oh, that's making it worse. So maybe it is point. No, that makes it worse. That's making it better. It's sometimes very counterintuitive which way to burn. Boy, we're getting pretty close. I can see the asteroid. I think I do need to burn this way now. But I've reduced my speed a lot, so I need to get a little closer. I know, I'm not trusting this information. It's really screwy what's coming here. I don't know why, it just doesn't feel right. Let's push the retrograde vector right towards the target. Okay, that's more sensible now. It was giving me all kinds of screwy information there. What was happening here wasn't matching what I was seeing on the Navball. Now it's matching. Now our target, of course, is not the asteroid. It's going to be a docking port. That's on the arm itself. Now, oh, there's my target right there. That. Set that as the target. Perfect. Control from here. All right. Deliberately coming off the target just a little bit, so I'll come in front of it. Okay, one last little puff with the motor. There we go. Spinning around. RCS on. I am missing. Chasing that target icon with the prograde. Back off. Oh my gosh. Okay, forward. Ugh. What is going on when I look at it from over here? Ah, get that out of the way. That was chaotic, but it worked. Okay, I'm going to disable this torque. This is why I don't like it, don't like it, don't like it. Disable torque. Where is it? Toggle torque. Oh my god. That is some wobbling, man. That is some wobbling. Holy jumpins. Probably disable this one. Disable this. Turn off all of these stupid reaction wheels. That's what causes all the wobbles. Especially like when one of them is at a funny angle to the other. It's good now. Okay, we're there. We're there. I'm excited. All right, let's fill her up. Let's fill her up. So the wobbling is dying down now. So we can take this tank and we have this tank. And we can just undo that and push out. There we go. That was some wobbling. That was some wobbling. But I like the whole thought. I mean, here's our orbital speed, right? About 1,200 meters per second. Like, it feels like you're coming in and everything's going really slow. But we're actually whipping around Kerbal. You know, we're at the near side. Okay, that is that tank full. And then we just got, like, these little radial fellas here. Empty that. Okay. That is cool. Here, come back. Get that one. And out. Now, I'm thinking I probably want to dispose of this before I get too far. That's what I'm thinking. Okay, this one. Because I don't want to thrust with this engine while this is on the side like that. I think that's going to be really bad. Okay. Out. Okay, so that one's full. That one's full. Two more. Out. Out. Okay, keep that, close that, and that one's full. That one. Out. And there should be one more tank on this that's still full. There you are. Out. Okay. All right. Ah, I could get it to impact the moon. That's a very good point. It's not quite set to impact the moon, but it wouldn't take much to get it to impact the moon. So I could certainly, so I was thinking, oh, it'll be a big pain to get this to, but you're right. I should just adjust it to impact the moon. That is a good plan. Okay, let's take a look at this. Oh, that was a mistake. Oh, no, that's the right one. That's just the fuel that's left. I just want to make sure this guy's full. So that should be full. That should be full. That should be full. That should be full. And that should be full. Perfect. Okay. And this one? No, this one. I'm just going to move this into the center tank only to center, only so that the center of mass is not offset. But I think that's a very good idea. If this, I'll keep these guys together, and then a little bit before, maybe 10 minutes before I get ready to do this burn that's coming up, I'll detach that and we'll adjust this guy to go hit the moon. I think that'll work great. Okay, so here now is the plan. We are coming up. We're doing this maneuver that's adjusting this. We're coming by the moon. And if I open up the settings here, I need some more conics. Mo conics. That's the wrong button. More patches. I mean, more patches to my conics. Let me just figure where is it tell you? Conic patch limit. Let's put that up to 5 and apply that. There we go. I want to see more conics. So there, now you can see maybe actually less conics now that I'm looking at this. That was one too many conics. One too many patches. 4 patches. Well, maybe not. Okay. Well, whatever. So we're coming up. We're doing this burn. That's going to put us into this orange one. We're going to encounter the moon. And then after we come out of the moon, without doing any adjustments, the moon's doing all this work for us. We're going to be in this green orbit. Oh, this purple orbit's probably... Oh, that's what's happening if I don't make the adjustment. Perfect. I love it. Okay, I think we're good. I think we're generating power. We are. So what I'm going to do is set up again an alarm. Oh, I already have this for the mid-course correction. How much time do I have on this? Can I not edit this? Why is there an edit button without giving me the ability to edit? I'm sure I gave myself plenty of warning. Okay, so where's Kerbal? One of you. There you are. Okay, let's get out to this maneuver. Can I transfer monoprop too? Good point. There's not a lot of monoprop to transfer. There's that and that, but I might as well transfer the monoprop. And this guy's a much bigger monoprop. Oh boy, I've not used much monoprop. Okay, I did it. Wasn't much to do, but it's done. Okay. Let's view Kerbal and let's time warp to that maneuver. Kerbal, where are you? There. Just so we have a bit of a view. Out we go. I see you, Moon, and we're coming back for you. Okay, so we're 30 minutes from the maneuver. So here's what we're going to do. No, don't. Yeah, delete the alarm. I'm assuming that won't delete the maneuver. Right. So I'm going to detach, and we're going to set this guy to collide with the moon. So, should all be good. Yes. So undock. And RCS on and back away. And we'll toggle on some torque again. There we are. Okay, and it shouldn't take much of an adjustment on this fella. I want this burn coming up pretty quick. Bring it a little closer. Okay, this burn's coming up in about 5 minutes. Okay, let's focus on the moon. And all we got to do is adjust this to hit it. And is radial the best plan for this? Oh, I think so. Maybe a little retro? Nope. Actually, I don't know what just happened there. There we go. That's a nice hit for just 3 meters per second. Let's do this thing. Barely any kind of burn. There we go. How's EC going to be for setting up the moon collision? It's going to be fine. We got lots of EC here. It can last for a few minutes. Thankfully, I did put a pretty big battery. Like, that's a 1,000 unit electric charge battery on there. So, thankfully, I at least had the foresight to do that. Turn down the gimbal limit on that, too, while we're at it. I hate seeing the engine just sort of... There we go. We're going to say goodbye to you, Asteroid. The refueler did its good job. But it's going to be... the end of the road. I think I can just do this. I don't have to wait. Perfect. Okay. So that will collide with the moon. That's the end of that. And while it is, see, it's such a tiny adjustment, we're hardly moving away from this at all. But now we can get to this guy. And we can do this burn coming up here. That was a good suggestion. Get rid of it by colliding it into the moon. All right, so I'm going to stop about 5 minutes before the burn. And we'll adjust our position. I think I have to turn on some reaction wheels again. Oh, no. Those ones are on. I think these ones I turned off. Yeah. Toggle those torques. Okay. Lock you onto the maneuver. Swing that asteroid. See, I was thinking we were going to need to use the RCS to swing the asteroid around, but clearly that's not an issue. It can haul that asteroid without any problem. The oxidizer is showing 0 because this is a nuclear engine on it. It doesn't use oxidizer. It just uses the liquid fuel. There's our refueler going away. Here's Kerbal way below us. Okay, let's get closer to the burn. All right, we're about 1 minute away. I'm going to watch it from the moon's perspective here. So we're changing our trajectory from here to here. That's the whole plan. And using the moon to get us into what hopefully is going to be this nice green orbit to help us facilitate a route to Minmus. That's the ultimate plan. Wow. You know, all that fuel we put in here, and actually, why is it not full? Did I screw up? I'm noticing this isn't full. I guess it's too late to think about it now, but still, it's only 218 meters per second because we are slugging around an asteroid. Well, I won't worry about it. I'm worried if I missed something somewhere. Maybe not. Yeah, it says I should be able to hold 672 units of liquid fuel, and I only have 602. 2, 1, and go. Not that I can do anything about that now. You can always send up another refueler. And stop. And get rid of the maneuver. And what does this orbit look like after we leave? Look at that. So I got a 3-degree inclination difference with Minmus. So we are missing it by a little bit, but oh my goodness, it ain't bad. It ain't bad at all. And then over here, what we'll do is we'll make a little bit of a plane adjustment. And that can't be much. That can't cost us too much, right? Little plane adjustment here. And try and facilitate a Minmus encounter. No, that's not going to cost us hardly anything. And a Minmus capture is not much. So I think we still got enough to do everything we want to do. Let's get by the moon. And see both of these two crafts. There we are. So one of them is going to hit the moon. The other one is going to miss. So we are right. Let's time war. Let's just use the time. Oh, wait. Actually, check. Electricity. No, I want to... Where's the sun? Let's turn a little bit this way. Yeah. A little bit of exposure like that. And also, is there a liquid fuel tank I missed? There, I did miss one. This liquid fuel adapter. It could hold liquid fuel, and I missed it. So I could have put in a little bit more. Oh, well. Not a big deal. That little right there. Ah, well. That's got lots of electricity. Yep. Okay, let's time warp to near where we're going to meet the moon. Warp to here. So here we are. I'm still following the moon, actually. There we go. Our two crafts coming in towards the moon. Moon's whipping around. Moon is proving very useful for us right now. Okay. I just want to do the go by the moon part. Oh, we are, I think, changing SOIs. Yes, we are. Let's take the time warp off, find the moon. And we shouldn't have to do anything. There's the moon. And if I recall right, we're going under the moon. And using the moon's gravity to give us a little bit of a boost. There we go. Thank you, moon. You're of great assistance. And I think we're now back in orbit about Kerbal, and now we're in this lovely, lovely stable orbit. Let's just put in a maneuver here. Try and zero out this inclination. Actually, what I should do is actually put a maneuver here first and push out that apogee out towards Minmus's orbit. Oh boy, I think we're coming pretty close. Not quite yet. But I'm very confident we'll be able to facilitate this into a rendezvous. But I'm looking at the time of the stream, and I'm thinking, I think that's going to have to be for the next episode. So we use the moon. It gave us a hand. We're in this lovely orbit to help us get to Minmus. We'll get it to Minmus. We'll put it in an orbit about Minmus. What on earth I'm going to do with it, I have absolutely no idea. But all of that is going to have to be for a future stream. Remember, I am taking a break off for Christmas, so no streams after this until we get to the new year. So no stream Thursday or the next 2 weeks after that. Otherwise, have yourself a fantastic holiday season, and we'll see you all in the new year.